All right, here comes our ride to the island. Plenty of life jackets, I guess that's a good thing. Pretty heavy seas today. At least that's what they said. Looks like about 4-foot swells out there. There's arrival at the dock, North Manitou Island. Way over there is the mainland, 12 miles away. Took about 55 minutes to get here. Well, so far the trail's been pretty nice. Well kept, easy walking. Let me show you. Not too bad. It's a beautiful place. We've just started, so got a lot to see. We thought about filtering some water because it's running pretty good right here. However, I don't know if you can see because of the bright sun. Problem is, it's coming out of that swamp. Mike tried filtering some and it didn't even take the color out of the water. So we'll just move on to the next water source. Well, here's some of the relics from the past. It's like an old junkyard. Some really old vehicles. Guess this is from back when they were logging the island. Those are some old pickup trucks. They probably weren't pickup trucks, they were probably like 2-ton trucks or something, weren't they? I don't know though. It'd be more like a pickup truck. There's a bed off one. Just think at one time, these were top of the line vehicles. That's just pretty cool. Okay, you're probably not going to be able to hear anything because of the wind. My guess is 15 to 20 mile an hour, if not more, up here on this bluff. Problem's going to be hanging the hammocks in this wind. We may have to get back into the woods some. Mike's going after water. I think I was wrong about the winds. I'm thinking they're more like 25 or 30 mile an hour. The swells are really increasing. Well, last night there was so much wind blowing, we decided not to be out on the bluff. So we came back inland a little bit, and this is our camp. There's Mike and his dream hammock Darien with his Superfly tarp. And this weekend I've got the Superfly, but I've got the Hammock Bliss gathered in instead of the XLC. Cut down on weight a little bit. And not a bad little place. However, we were highly disappointed. When we came in, we found a wine bottle, candle, and a piece of rope. But that's really not too bad. That is actually the only garbage we have seen in the entire day we were here. So, we woke up to rain this morning, which was a little disheartening, I guess is a good word. And it has rained off and on. We've tried to wait it out, but we're going to go ahead and pack up and hit the trail and move to the next campsite. So, see you on trail. The trail back to the bluff where we camped last night on the map says it's an unmaintained. And to be honest, it's unmaintained. It's at times a little hard to follow. This section right here is not too bad because you can see. But coming up here, as you can see, you kind of got to look for it a little bit. Everything's pretty wet this morning. But it was worth the 1.1 mile back down this, basically a side trail, an unmaintained trail. It was a beautiful place. So, there you have it. Unmaintained trail on Manitou Island. Well, we're about halfway to our camp for the night, which is Crescent City. And it started raining. And with the rain came the mosquitoes. So anyway, got the pack covers on, rain gear. It's so hot I got the hood off and sleeves rolled up. Anyway, that's where we're at. About halfway to camp for the night. It's been a great trail. This last part's been pretty much uphill. It's an old railroad bed. It goes up to from about 660 foot of elevation up to about 900, and it drops back down to the coast, which is where we're going. So anyway, that's the latest update. This is the clearing in around Crescent City, which at one time was a town of 300 people. It's been thundering and lightning and pouring down rain. Luckily we don't have any lightning right now going through this clearing. But a lot more land cleared than what I had thought. But I guess 300 people, you know, got to have quite a bit of room for that many homes. Well, it rained all day. We set up in the rain, ate in the rain, and about dark it stopped. So, I don't know. It's a good day. Just a little frustrating because of all the rain. But hopefully we'll get some dry time tomorrow, a little sun, get things dried out. So, anyway, it's the end of day 2. See you tomorrow. Well, here's morning of day 3. Looks kind of threatening. It's pretty dark over there. It stopped raining about dark last night. It didn't rain again until about dawn. And then the wind really picked up. Hoping it'll stay dry so we can get some things dried out. Mike's still asleep, but I'll show you camp. That thing's hanging up everywhere. Hoping that the sun will come up. We're on the west side of the island, and that was looking west toward Wisconsin. Here's camp. Something that's kind of interesting. These little guys. Little slugs. Just get all over everything. It's kind of gross, really. But they are literally everywhere. That's looking north along North Manitou Island. We're on the west side of the island now. That's the trail up to where our camp is. And if you look down this way, that's actually South Manitou Island. Way over there would be Wisconsin. As you can see, it's not really looking too promising. Just a lot of gray. Probably a rain squall right there. We were packing our stuff away and looked up and had a little company. And I mean, she is just right here by us, not a bit afraid of us. That just kind of shows how many people come through here every year. Well, the gods of the wilderness waited until we got loaded up and just started to pack out, and it started to rain. But that's better than loading up in the rain. This is really a beautiful trail and a beautiful place. I believe, oh, there he went. I think that's a loon fishing there in the rough surf, which is pretty neat too in itself. All right, day 3, here we go. There he is. Well, we've come about 4 miles and it's still raining. It's a lot easier hiking than in the sand. It was a pretty diverse ecosystem, really. You know, you've got the beach and everything, but then you have these woods that are just hardwood, and occasional locusts. I think that's, or hemlock, not locust, hemlock. I think there's a couple right there. As you can see, Mike's batting down for the rain. Me too. Alright, onward. Well, evidently somebody who came in on the boat had some kind of medical problem, and they called the Coast Guard to come get him. It takes a big helicopter to fly in this kind of wind. Now that's about as cool as anything you'll ever see. Well, it's about 7:45. The rain has finally lightened up or completely stopped, we're not sure. Wind's howling again though. And I just finished off a Mountain House spaghetti with meat sauce. There's Mike over there, trying to get warmed up and dry. Well, I had a little bit of a problem. When we walked out to the village, which is basically the ranger station, sat the pack up against the side of the building, and it had on the pack cover, the Osprey cover, which I thought was waterproof, and my hammock and underquilt and top quilt were rolled up and in their slug tube, which I also thought was waterproof. But however, obviously neither one are, because all my stuff is wet. So got a little bit of a situation here. Going to have to figure out how to stay warm tonight. It's going to get down to mid-50s with, they're saying, 25-mile-an-hour winds. So it could be a bit of a challenge, but hey, it's an adventure, right? So we'll talk to you later. Yeah, we got the coffee going this morning. That's my little alcohol stove. It works really well with the Ollie Camp pot here that's got the heat exchanger on the bottom. About 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, we'll have coffee. And then we'll have the boiling water to make the coffee. We have rapid boil. Yesterday, after we left the village, we came back into the wilderness area. Everything's sopping wet, so we had to hang everything up. Already started taking my stuff down. However, all that wind last night dried everything out, so good to go. And I'm going to have coffee here in a couple of minutes. Well, it's rained so much this week that I haven't really had a chance to show you my pack load. That's the Mountain Smith Scream 55. It's a 55 liter top loading pack. You know, I've talked about this before and done a couple of reviews. It has really worked great this week. I'm pleasantly surprised at how well it handled the load. I started on day one with about 28 pounds, and who knows, I'm probably at about 24, and it did real well. As always, I've got my Black Diamond walking sticks, got some fingerless gloves there, my hat with a mesh back. This is the Frog Togs ultralight rain suit top. It probably weighs about 8 ounces. I've got it there readily available because the weather, it can be nice and sunny like it is right now, and within 15 minutes it's pouring down rain. So anyway, got through the night okay. We had that little issue with water getting in the bottom of the pack and getting things wet, but they dried out pretty well, and made it through the night with no issues. So we're off. See you later. Okay, we caught the boat. Heading back to the mainland. Back to the place where we started the adventure.